Today's video covers proven techniques that have scored me multiple upgrades at little to no cost, and even some techniques where I have been upgraded on my flight and paid for it. Stick around for practical tips to upgrade your next flight and even a sneaky hack to get upgraded after you have boarded the plane. One of the easiest ways to get upgraded on your flight is to bid for a flight upgrade. Once you have booked a flight ticket, airline upgrade bidding is like placing a bet on a better seat on your flight. You offer an amount of money you're willing to pay for a specific upgrade, such as moving from economy to business class. Many airlines offer passengers the opportunity to bid for an upgrade. However, each airline has its own set of rules and procedures for the bidding process, including how far in advance you can bid, the minimum and maximum bid amount, and when you'll be notified about the success of your bid. As an example bid for an upgrade with Etihad Airways, you might get an email after booking, or you can check their site to see if you're eligible by entering your ticket information and last name. You'll make an offer for how much you're willing to pay to move up to business or first class, enter your payment details, and then you just have to wait. If your bid is successful, you'll be notified a couple of days before your flight, and then you'll be charged for the upgrade, which is non-refundable. And if your bid is not successful, you won't need to do anything. You'll keep your original flight ticket and you will not be charged. Another way to upgrade your flight ticket on a budget would be to use airline points. When you book a flight using cash, consider using your accumulated airline points or miles to upgrade the flight ticket to a higher class. This approach often offers better value in compared to redeeming points for an economy ticket directly. For instance, American Airlines provides a chart detailing the cash and miles required for upgrades, making it easy to see the potential benefit of using miles to get an upgrade. While moving from a cheaper economy seat to a premium economy seat on a short flight might not be worth it, using miles to go from economy to business class on a long flight is a fantastic deal with American Airlines. Some airlines, like Delta, price mileage upgrades dynamically based on demand instead of giving you a clear pricing chart like American Airlines does. If your flight ticket is eligible for an upgrade, you can log in with your flight information on delta.com and you'll view a self-explanatory upgrade with miles option. Check the airline's website or give them a call after purchasing your ticket to see how much it would cost you in either points or in cash in order to upgrade your ticket. Upgrading is a great way to make your flight more comfortable, especially on longer trips, and it's a smart way to use the points that you've earned and get the most value for them. As your flight approaches, an airline may also email you directly with an offer to upgrade your ticket. Keep an eye on your inbox as these time-sensitive deals can pop up in the days or even in the hours before your flight's departure. What's great about getting an email like this from the airline with an upgrade offer is that it's going to be straightforward and instant. I've ignored these emails from the airline in the past, only to realize that later I missed out on a chance to upgrade to business class for a very reasonable amount of points or dollars on a long-haul flight. Unlike bidding, these offers are simple. You see the deal, you know exactly what it's going to cost you, you accept it online, and you're all set. There's no guessing or negotiating or waiting required. Let us know down in the comments what the highest fare class you have ever flown in was. I once got an upgrade to first class, but it was on a short domestic flight with Air Canada, so nothing too exciting. Next, we'll dive into a few hacks to get free upgrades, and they do not involve dressing nicely or bringing the flight attendants chocolate as you board the plane. That's honestly kind of cringy, and if you're going to do it, maybe go for something like gift cards instead, but it's probably not going to get you an upgrade either way. You can increase your chance of getting a complimentary upgrade by joining an airline loyalty program. Signing up is free, and right away, you'll stand out from the other travelers who aren't in the program when it comes to securing a seat upgrade. The more often that you fly, the higher your status is going to climb, and the better shot that you'll have at getting an upgrade. Earning a high status with one airline can also unlock opportunities with other airlines, thanks to status matching programs. Ollie has decided to join us. Let's assume that you have status with one airline. Another airline might come to you and say something along the lines of,
"Hey, come fly with us instead, and we'll match your status with our program."
This means you can get all the perks, like upgrades, without starting from scratch. Delta Airlines and United Airlines are two examples of major airlines with status matching programs. If you're a frequent flyer with United and you've earned a high status, Delta has a cool option called the Sky Miles Medallion Status Match Challenge, where they give you the equivalent medallion status for 3 months for free. There is also an option to extend this to longer. Being a medallion member with Delta opens the door to some awesome perks like unlimited complimentary upgrades, waived baggage fees, and preferred seats. Being aware of status matching programs is a great way to maximize your loyalty across more than just one airline. Another way that you can score a free upgrade is by keeping an eye out for any alerts that may come up at the time of checking in for your flight. You done? The online check-in window often opens about 24 hours before your flight, and you will definitely want to check in as soon as possible. This online check-in window is your chance to pick your seat for free, but there is more to it. Sometimes you'll notice a message asking for volunteers to take a later flight, which indicates that the flight is likely overbooked. This happens because airlines often sell more tickets than there are seats on the plane, betting that some passengers are not going to show up. If you do spot this overbooking notice when you check in for your flight, the airline will likely be looking for volunteers to fly at a later time in exchange for some perks. You are often given an option to enter how much money it would take for you to fly on the next flight instead. This can be a bit like an auction, but with a twist. Unlike when you bid for an upgrade, the amount that you put in at the time of check-in is not binding, and you will have a chance to speak with the gate agent and negotiate based on your flight options available. So for example, if you can take a flight that's 1 hour later, you may be willing to accept just $200 worth of credit. But if it turns out that you'll need to wait an extra day to take the flight, then maybe the $200 will not be worth it for you. If a flight is overbooked, you'll find that about 1 hour before the boarding starts, the agent is going to start calling up volunteers to the gate who have quoted the lowest amounts that they would be willing to accept in order to switch flights. The trick is to enter a low amount that you would be willing to be paid in order to take a later flight. By doing this, you'll be among the first passengers called up, which gives you a prime spot to negotiate. The agent might be limited in how much monetary compensation they can offer you, but an upgrade for your new flight may be an easy thing for them to throw in. This is how I have scored multiple flight upgrades while also being compensated by the airline with credit. Being flexible with my travel plans and open to negotiation has landed me some sweet deals like better seats, non-stop flights over an original flight with a stop, and even a complete switch to a new destination when I swapped a flight from Canada to Singapore to one from Canada to Thailand, which is where I originally wanted to go, but at the time of booking my ticket, the price to Singapore was much cheaper than the price for the flight to Thailand. So my original plan was to just fly to Singapore and then book a cheap flight with a domestic airline to get the rest of the way to Thailand. Even if you don't see a notification that your flight might be overbooked during the check-in process, taking a proactive approach when you arrive at the airport can still lead to an upgrade. Head to the gate at least 1 hour before the flight begins boarding and let the gate agent know that you would be willing to take a later flight if this one does end up being overbooked. Just say something like, "Hi, it looks like this flight is pretty full. I'm willing to take a later flight if needed." They'll take your name down, and then they will call you over the speaker system for negotiation if it does turn out that the flight is overbooked and they do need someone to take a later flight. Definitely stay in the gate area, because if your name is called and you don't show up, you'll likely miss your chance. And if you are open to taking an alternative flight in exchange for airline credits and a possible flight upgrade, there are a few things to remember. Remember to be at the gate 1 hour to 30 minutes before boarding begins, since once boarding starts, it's likely going to be too late. You'll also want to be flying carry-on only, because if you have a bag that's been checked onto the plane, you won't be able to take a later flight. You need to fly with your bag. And then by flying solo or being willing to separate from the other people flying in your group, you will have a better chance at being accepted to be bumped from your current flight and then taking a new flight, potentially with credits in your hand as well as a better seat. And even after you have gotten onto the plane, there is still a chance that you could get a seat upgrade if there is a problem with your assigned seat. Definitely approach this ethically, and don't make up a problem just to get moved. Actual issues, like a broken armrest or a malfunctioning in-flight entertainment system, can be your ticket to a better seat if you bring them to the attention of a flight attendant quickly. Using resources like SeatGuru to know your seat's details ahead of time can be helpful. For instance, finding out that your seat's recline is broken before you even board the plane can prepare you to immediately inform a flight attendant when you sit down. And if there is something wrong with your seat and economy is full, flight attendants are usually more than willing to accommodate you in a better seat in a higher class if it's available. I can count multiple situations where I've been moved from basic economy to premium economy due to an issue with my seat. To be honest, I have since considered strategically picking a malfunctioning seat by using Seat Guru to know which seats have problems, and then rolling the dice to see if something better would be available after getting on the flight. Probably a bad idea, but it might be fun to try. Remember that upgrading your flight experience isn't just about moving to first or business class. Sometimes the choice of airline can make all the difference in economy class too. With a bit of research, you might discover airlines offering a luxury economy experience without a hefty price tag. Porter lives up to its tagline, flying refined, treating passengers to an exceptional economy service. On all flights, you can expect free beer and wine served in actual glassware, comfortable 2x2 seating configuration so you never have a middle seat, and premium snacks in comparison to what you would typically find in economy with other airlines. Now compare that to what you might experience on an equally priced economy ticket with American Airlines, where you are lucky to get a glass of water and a bag of stale pretzels. I know which airline I'm picking. So when planning your next trip, remember that a superior flight experience might not be far out of reach if you are selective about the airline, even if you do end up stuck flying in economy. And even if you don't get a class upgrade, economy seats on a plane are not created equally, and the seat that you choose, even within economy, can make a massive difference to your flight experience. I'll put a video on the screen now and link it for you in the description, running through the best seats, including those with the most legroom, and the seats that you will definitely want to avoid at all costs. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button to join us back here for more travel tips and hacks each week, and I will see you in that next video soon. Bye.